5 of the UK's biggest supermarkets are taking considerably more from your pocket than they need to, and the gap between the most expensive and the cheapest for the exact same weekly shop is £67. Every week, same items, same trolley, completely different bill. By the end of this video, you'll know which 5 supermarkets are costing you more than they should, which 2 are genuinely the best value right now, and what to actually do if any of them is your main shop today. Being loyal to the wrong one could cost your household over £3,000 a year. Before we get into it, if you're new here, this channel exists to help you spend less so that you can have more money in your wallet in the UK. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a breakdown. Number 5. Ocado and the Vibe Tax. Imagine this. You had a manic week. You open the app, fill your basket in your dressing gown on a Tuesday, and on Saturday morning a van arrives with everything packed so neatly the groceries look like they've been to therapy. Genuinely civilized, and you've just paid a surcharge on every item in that order without realizing it. According to Which's branded grocery analysis, published in March 2026, Ocado came in at £867 for a basket of 245 branded items, 5% more expensive than Asda, who, by the way, isn't on today's list. And that's for the exact same product. It's also before the delivery fee, which runs from £1.99 to £6.99 per slot, or £100 a year for a pass. Do 40 shops a year at even a modest £3 a slot, and you're paying £120 just for someone to carry things to your door before you've touched a single item in the basket. Now, here's the genuinely interesting part. On a headline item like 4-pint semi-skimmed milk, Ocado charges around £1.65, broadly in line with the rest of the high street, according to Money Magpie's March 2026 comparison. On that item, you're not paying more, but Ocado's 5% premium across a 245-item branded basket tells you exactly where the difference is building, quietly, across dozens of mid-range items week after week. To be fair, Ocado is reliable. Slots arrive on time, and it's the only place to get M&S groceries delivered without actually visiting M&S. But as your primary weekly shop, you are paying what can only be called a vibe tax. The food inside the van is largely identical to what's in every other supermarket. You're really buying the feeling of not having to go. And feelings, it turns out, are extremely expensive. The honest use case for Ocado is the one-off treat delivery or the M&S shop you can't get anywhere else. As a weekly staple shop, there is simply no financial case for it, which leads us to a supermarket with a very different kind of premium, one people get irrationally defensive about. Number 4. Waitrose, paying for a postcode that isn't yours. Waitrose has a reputation, nice packaging, staff who seem to enjoy being there, and a car park that doesn't give you low-level dread. They also have a genuinely strong animal welfare record, the first UK supermarket to meet the Better Chicken commitment across its entire own brand range, and consistently ranked among the best in the country on livestock welfare. That's real, and it's worth something. But if Waitrose is where your entire household budget goes every week, you are almost certainly paying more for the atmosphere than the food on most of what's actually in your trolley, Which's May 2026 basket comparison tracked 95 everyday items throughout the month. These items include chicken, milk, bread, eggs, pasta, cleaning products, and tinned goods. Waitrose came in at £235.49. The cheapest supermarket on this list, £168.30. That's a gap of £67.19. Every single week. Here's what makes that number interesting. On a single headline item like 4-pint semi-skimmed milk, Waitrose Essential actually comes in at £1.60, fractionally cheaper than the market average, according to livetrolley.co.uk data. So Waitrose isn't gouging you on milk, and it's not really gouging you on welfare-assured meat and eggs either, where you genuinely are paying for something different. It's gouging you on the other 90-odd items in the trolley with no welfare angle at all. That £67 weekly gap averages out to roughly 71p more per item across the shop. Annualise it, and that's £3,495 a year more than the cheapest option for broadly equivalent groceries. For families shopping for 4 or 5 people, the maths is even uglier. The premium scales with the size of your trolley. If higher welfare meat, eggs and dairy genuinely matter to you, keep buying those specific items at Waitrose. That part of the premium pays for something real. The cleaning products and cupboard staples with no welfare angle whatsoever are where the £67 is quietly disappearing for no reason, and that's the part worth moving elsewhere. Before we get to the two actually worth your time, we need to deal with the one that somehow manages to be more expensive than Waitrose. Number 3. Sainsbury's without Nectar, aggressively more expensive than Waitrose, which compared 245 branded items across major UK supermarkets and found that Sainsbury's without a Nectar card was the single most expensive place to buy branded groceries in Britain. More expensive than Waitrose. Rina Siraz, which is retail editor, called it a shocking truth, saying branded favourites can actually be cheaper at Waitrose than at the UK's biggest supermarkets for shoppers who don't use a loyalty card. Something that would have seemed unthinkable until a few years ago. This goes beyond the headline basket. Independent data from Pocketwise shows that branded pasta can cost 3 times the price of own label, and branded tea bags can run to 4 times the own label equivalent. Without a Nectar card, you're paying Sainsbury's full shelf price on those items too. Now, you might say, but I do have my Nectar card. Even with Nectar prices applied, Sainsbury's came in at £198.79 in May 2026 for that 95-item basket, still nearly £30 more per week than the cheapest option, translating to over £1,500 more a year. The card narrows the gap, it doesn't close it, and over 90% of Sainsbury's promotions now require the Nectar card to unlock the reduced price, according to the grocer's October 2025 analysis. No card. You're on the premium tariff, every visit without exception. If Sainsbury's is your main shop, the Nectar card is non-negotiable, that's not up for debate, but for anything you buy regularly in dried or tinned goods, a quick comparison with the 2 supermarkets coming up is all it takes. Most households who do it don't go back. Number 2. Tesco without a Clubcard, the penalty shop. Tesco holds 28.5% of the UK grocery market, its highest share in over a decade. Most people in this country shop there at least occasionally. Walk in without a Clubcard, and you are, by design, on the expensive end of a 2-tier pricing system. In May 2026, a 95-item Tesco basket with Clubcard cost £196.88. Without it, £202.27. A £5.39 difference on a relatively modest shop. Scale that up to a fuller family trolley, and which's larger branded basket comparison showed a gap of £48.90 in a single shop, £629.25 without Clubcard versus £580.35 with, nearly 50 quid. Same items, same store, just without a card. And here's the thing the Clubcard advert won't say clearly. In many cases, the saving from scanning your card is simply the price that should have been on the shelf to begin with. You're not being rewarded, you're avoiding a surcharge. That's not a loyalty scheme, that's a disloyalty penalty in a cheerful orange font. But who's not getting this deal? Under 18s can't get a Clubcard. Shoppers without a smartphone can't access app discounts, which has repeatedly flagged that the 2-tier system shuts out the most financially vulnerable shoppers, precisely the ones with least room to absorb the difference. With a Clubcard and consistent use, Tesco is competitive. It topped which's cheapest supermarket ranking in January 2026. But competitive isn't the same as cheapest. The two supermarkets at the end of this video are cheaper, without a card, without an app, without handing over a single byte of your shopping data. If Tesco is your main shop, get the Clubcard. That's the minimum, non-negotiable move. Then compare your protein items, chicken, mince and fish, against what's coming up next. That's where the biggest saving sits. Number 1. Morrisons. The quietly expensive one. Morrisons tends to fly under the radar. Good butcher counter. Solid fresh produce. And yet, price-wise, it has been sitting in expensive territory without nearly enough attention for it. In May 2026, Morrisons came in at £197.50 for that same 95-item basket, pricier than Tesco, with a Clubcard, level with Sainsbury's using a Nectar card. Their More Card loyalty scheme has also been scaled back. According to the grocer's October 2025 analysis, the proportion of promotions requiring a More Card dropped from 28.9% down to just 11.1% of product in a single year. Less loyalty pricing, not more. The base return rate on points is 0.5%. Spend £1,000, earn a £5 fiver, which found the card saves customers roughly 0.07% on a larger branded shop. Not 7, not 0.7, but 0.07%. You'd save more by finding a 5p piece in the car park on the way out. To put things into perspective, here's what switching to the cheapest supermarket on this list actually saves you. Switching from Waitrose saves you around £3,500 a year. From Sainsbury's, even with a Nectar card, over £1,500. From Ocado, delivery fees alone run to £120 a year on an annual pass, on top of a basket that already runs 5% more expensive on branded items. From Tesco, without a Clubcard, over £1,700. And from Morrisons, roughly £1,500. That's not loose change, but here's where it could go instead. The two supermarkets that are actually worth it. Here's the thing about the two supermarkets genuinely worth your money right now. They are not growing because of a marketing campaign. They're growing because millions of UK households have done the maths, switched, and never gone back. Together they now account for nearly a fifth of the entire UK grocery market, both sitting at record highs, according to Kantar's latest data. Not because of a clever ad, because the numbers speak for themselves. Here's the first one on the list. Number 1. Aldi. Aldi has been the cheapest UK supermarket for the majority of months since which started including it. According to Kantar's latest data, Aldi now holds 10.9% of the UK grocery market, its highest share in the retailer's history. In May 2026, that 95-item basket, chicken, milk, bread, eggs, pasta, cleaning products and tinned goods cost £168.30. No loyalty card, no app, no two-tier system where the real price requires handing over your data. The same low price for everyone, every time. And on a 4-pint of semi-skimmed milk, Aldi's own label comes in cheaper than the Big Four equivalent. Their own label ranges regularly beat branded equivalents in independent taste tests. And private label products now account for over half of all UK supermarket purchases, meaning the rest of the country has already worked this out. The honest caveat: range is limited. If you need specific brands, you won't always find them, but for your weekly staples, switching your core shop to Aldi is the single most impactful financial decision most UK households can make right now. Number 2. Lidl. Lidl sits just behind Aldi. According to Kantar, Lidl holds 8.3% of the UK grocery market, also a record high. Together, these two supermarkets account for nearly a fifth of all UK grocery spending. In May 2026, the same basket cost £170.58 with a Lidl Plus card, just £2.28 more than Aldi. Unlike every loyalty scheme covered on this list, the Lidl Plus discount makes almost no material difference, 0.05% on the basket. The price is genuinely low with or without the card. Many shoppers find Lidl's layout slightly more navigable than Aldi's, and its fresh produce consistently performs well in quality comparisons. For most households, the honest answer is use both. Aldi as your main weekly shop, Lidl as the alternative when it's closer or the range fits better that week. So there we have it, 5 supermarkets where your money is doing less than it should, 2 where it genuinely isn't. None of this makes Waitrose a fraud or Ocado a bad service. Both earn their place for specific shops, but handing either of them your full weekly grocery budget week after week is a financial habit that costs real money for no real return. Before you go, drop a comment and tell us which supermarket you currently use for your main weekly shop. And after watching this, are you reconsidering? We want the real picture from people actually standing at the till, not just what the data says. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button and share it with someone you know who's been loyally overpaying for years. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown of what's really going on with the cost of living in the UK.